This video is focused on the panels widget. We're going to do an overview of that widget. Then we're going to make a few panel views and give you a good sense, hopefully, of what the panel is for and how to use it. Okay, so we're going to go straight into panels, but actually before we do that, let's talk about what panels are for. Panels are for creating custom views specific to your user's workflow and requirements. The problem with Quincy is it is so powerful and so flexible that it can be overwhelming. This desktop view can just be way more than a normal user could possibly hope to take in. And so we give you panels so you can restrict the user's experience just to the features you want them to take advantage of in a layout that is conducive to them being successful. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Those were a lot of big fancy words, but what it actually means is very simple. You open up the panel view and you can split it horizontally or vertically. Let's split it horizontally. In the left panel, it asks us what type of panel we want. It offers flat, tabbed, pop-up launcher, or accordion. We're going to stick with flat for right now, and let's put the grid in here. It's going to ask us, do we want this panel to be absolute sizing, meaning if we select yes, then the panel will always be this size. If the user's monitor, let's say, is twice as large as mine, it is this panel on the right that will grow, not the panel on the left, because the panel on the left will be absolute sized and will just be this exact size. But I'm fine with relative sizing for now. Do we want to let the user resize the panel? Let's say yes. Do we want to hide the splitter? No, that's mutually exclusive. You can't have them resize it and hide the splitter. This is the splitter. It's the thing that allows them to resize stuff. And if you hide it, they can't grab onto it to move it around. On the right here, let's just add the viewer. We don't care about any, we'll ignore these options. We've already made it resizable, so that will make this one resizable also. And then let's give them access to their case list. And we'll call this, I think I'm on demo 3, and let's save it. All right, it's saved. It should show up here now. There it is, and let's load it, and I think we'll immediately have a good sense of what this does. We have given the user now their own customized experience. They can log into cases because we selected cases as an option for them. So let's let them log in. And they've got their grid here and their viewer on the right, and it's just that simple. That's all they have. They can search and they can look at documents. That's pretty much all they get access to. This is a much more upfront and easily accessible view for somebody that only wants the most simplistic experience. Here you go. That's what panels are for. That's the essence of what they're for. They're for creating these type of simple, straightforward views that users can quickly understand and utilize to their benefit. So let's go in, let's talk about the other features available. We're going to go back now and talk about all the other features. So let's go full screen so we can see a little bit better. Okay, so you can split it as many times as you want. You could have split this one, split along the vertical, and now we have a 3-panel view. You could put anything in these things. Any of the widgets that are available, you can put in. You can even put in non-widgets. If you go and select this custom, it will ask you what element you want to stick into this, and you can go through the HTML of Quincy and find whatever element you want and stick it in here, and it will show up here. And that can be quite powerful, but now you're on a dangerous journey. You really need to know what you're doing to utilize that type of feature. So let's go back to something more simple. You have the panel typed. You can have it be tabbed. That means you'll be offered tabs along the top. You can have it be accordion, which means you'll have these click and drop down functions, and you can have a pop-up launcher, which will launch that element into its own window. And that can be pretty powerful in terms of allowing them to pop out a viewer or something like that. Though at this point, I would recommend that if you wanted this for the viewer, you're just much better off having them utilize QView. And you can go view that video on the features of QView and understand how better to use that. Nonetheless, those are the options that are available to you. You also have these options up here. What full page does is it will, if you don't do full page, you're going to, at minimum, get this top heading bar, like we did in the view we just saw. If you do full page, that will be gone completely, at which point you need to give them a way to search. So you could have inspected this element, found this element, did it using the custom function, and put the search bar up there. Maybe you don't want them to search and you don't care about that at all. The bookmarks controls this, labels control this, case controls this, and filters control these. So if you give them access to all of these, you're going to basically replicate this bar again. So that's pretty much it. That's the panel's view. You can obviously delete ones you don't want this one anymore, just go ahead and delete it. There are a bunch of these that we don't really care about. If you want to edit one, you can go ahead and click this to load it in, and it will load it in. You can go ahead and edit it, but we don't care about that. We're going to just delete. Let's load in. Let's see what this one was. Load that one. Again, the same basic dynamic. We can delete that. We can go ahead also and import and export panels. And this is powerful to know because I'm sure you look at this and you say, okay, this is cool, let me play around with it, but it's overwhelming, Tim, it's too much for us. In that case, you could just post to the message board a request. Hey, I would like a basic view like this. I would like you to build me something that looks like this. And we can go ahead and build it. And then you can just come post it in here and import it. And it will import the view into your system, and then you can utilize it. Finally, the last thing to know is that views are inherently assignable. When you create a view and you come into roles, your views should be here. There's the demo. We deleted demo 1 and demo 2 already, or demo 2 and demo 3, excuse me. But you can assign this to somebody and then they will have access to it. So that's it. Those are panels. I really encourage you to play around with this. I think you actually find it transformative to the success of your users. If you understand it and you play with it enough, it can become really, really powerful. So anyway, those are all the features, and please give it a try. And thank you very much for your time.